You will not find a Parmesan chicken any better than this one, I promise. It is so crunchy and delicious.
Hey y'all, it's Tammy with Collar Valley Cooks, and tonight we made chicken Parmesan. Get ready for the greatest recipe ever.
Alright, all you gotta do is get you some spaghetti noodles. This is simple, anybody can do it. Get you some spaghetti noodles, have you a jar of marinara. I'm using a whole grain noodle, but you can of course use regular. I like to use a fresh parm to grate on the top, but you can use it right out of the shake bottle if you want to. Then we got some sliced mozzarella and some delicious Italian style croutons. So this recipe is in our first volume cookbook, and it is one of my family's favorites. They do request it often. It's so simple, super simple, and it's better than any restaurant, seriously, that I've ever had, because it's nice and crunchy and delicious the way we layer it. You're going to beat up your croutons really well in the bag. Get something heavy like this meat cleaver and really give them a good bang, and get them small. You don't want them to be in large pieces for what you're about to do. And then what you're going to do after that is you're going to grab a couple of pie plates, about 3. You're going to have 1 pie plate for the chicken, and you're going to make sure your chicken is in about 1/4 inch slices. If you have to beat it in between some parchment paper, you can do that, but you can buy it thinly sliced as well. Whatever you want to do. Make sure you marinate it in this buttermilk for at least about 20 minutes before you get started. We're going to be using some self-rising flour, and then we will be using our croutons that we beat up as the outside crust to our chicken. And boy, is this going to be delicious, I promise. Right now I'm doing a voiceover because Chris forgot to turn on my microphone, the volume actually on the video camera, and it'll stop in just a minute as soon as you see this chicken on the stove. But until then, bear with me. Alright, so we're going to take each piece and you're going to lightly dredge it in the flour. See how lightly floured that is? You barely want to put it in there, just enough flour that these croutons will cling to it, okay? So make sure you do that step right and don't, like, you know, put a whole bunch on it. And now you're going to lay it in the croutons, and you really got to pick up these croutons and push them onto the chicken and do a really good coating on each piece of chicken. And you're going to do that, of course, with every piece of chicken until you get them nicely battered before you want to drop them into a hot frying pan.
This is a preheated skillet. You're going to want to add oil to it, and I typically put in about 1/4 inch of oil. And you're going to wait till that heats up, and we'll put a little bit of a crouton in there. Once it starts to sizzle, then we're going to know that it's ready to fry. Okay? So we'll put that down in there. It's almost time to drop the chicken, so I'm going to drop the pasta. And always add a teaspoon of salt to your pasta water. Alright, it's nice and warm. I'm going to turn it down just a little bit. I think it's a little bit too warm. Okay, we're gonna put in 2 pieces of chicken. I may can get them all in here, but I don't think I can. So we're just going to start out with 2 pieces at a time. You're going to cook these 3 minutes aside. So I'm going to put my timer on 3 and hit the start button. If your oil is too hot, they'll get too brown, so make sure you turn it back down to medium once it's nice and hot so that you'll have pretty golden brown chicken breasts. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this. It's nice and brown. Once you flip them, set your timer again. Looking good. Now I've got it turned down below medium and low. This is a large burner, just so that it doesn't get too brown too quick, okay? Okay, while you're frying up that chicken and boiling that pasta, go ahead and get you a jar of marinara out and pour it in a bowl, a pourable bowl if you have one. I'm going to use my batter bowl. Put a cup of water in the marinara jar, shake it up, and pour it into the marinara. And then just mix it up good. And you have time in between, so go ahead and get this ready, okay? So it don't take too long to make supper. Also, open up your sliced mozzarella cheese and set it aside to get it ready to go on your chicken in the lasagna dish. You can also get a hand grater ready with your parm in it, or if you buy Parmesan in a bag, then you don't have to even worry about that step. I didn't make the whole pound of pasta because now that May's off to college, we don't have to cook quite as much, but the recipe does call for the full 16 ounces for a family. It's best to put this on a timer so you don't forget about it and get it too brown, but I like it nice and golden brown because then it's crunchy when you go to eat your chicken Parmesan. I like to spray my lasagna dish. You don't have to, but it just makes for easier cleanup. So we're going to spray our lasagna dish, and the first thing that you layer in here is the spaghetti noodles. Also substituted regular spaghetti for wheat spaghetti, just to make it a little healthier. You can do what you want to. After you put in the noodles, you're going to put in the marinara and you're going to pour it over the noodles. Now, this is a lot of marinara. I don't know that I'm going to use all of it, but I definitely want them to get nice and coated. So, it looks good to me. And remember what I said, don't forget about the water or it's going to be dry. Now what we're going to do is take our chicken and place it on the top of the marinara. You do not want to pour your marinara over the top of your chicken. If you do, then your chicken is going to get soggy. And that's what's so good about this dish, is the crunchy, delicious crust that we just put on this chicken. So we don't want to mess that up, okay? I gotta scoot that one over a little bit to get everything in. Now you're going to peel off your mozzarella cheese and lay a piece of mozzarella over each piece of chicken. And then we're also going to take our Parmesan and we're going to grate Parmesan cheese onto the top of our mozzarella. You can save just a little bit for garnishing the top of the chicken when it comes out of the oven on your plate. We're going to get this in the oven and cook it until it's nice and bubbly. All right, we're going to slide this in the oven. All right, we're going to take out this nice French baguette. It was on sale. And I'm going to cut it crossways. And I'm going to butter a couple of pieces for us to have with our chicken. If you're interested in making that homemade marinara, it's in my second cookbook. You can look under tomato pasta sauce. It is in there with the Italian meatballs, okay? So we are going to give this a try with my wheat noodles because it's healthy. Well, they all just fell off my fork. So good. Now look how pretty the chicken looks. And it's crunchy and delicious like it should be. Not soggy. Thanks for watching Colored Valley Cooks, where we cook like Mama did.